Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I need y'all to hear what this dumbass said today in the cabinet meeting. Roland.
We are following the measles epidemic every day. I think there's 124 people who have contracted measles at this point, mainly in Gaines County, Texas. Mainly, we're told, in the Mennonite community. There are 2 people who have died, but we're watching it, and there are about 20 people hospitalized, mainly for quarantine. We're watching it. We put out a post on it yesterday, and we're going to continue to follow it. Incidentally, there have been 4 measles outbreaks this year in this country. Last year, there were 16. So it's not unusual. We have measles outbreaks every year.
Okay, all right, I got one more. I need y'all to turn y'all TV down. Just give me 5 seconds. I got to do this one more time before I introduce my guest, because I got to say it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This motherfucker! Do y'all understand we have not had a measles death in America in 10 years, a whole damn decade? We've had 4 measles outbreaks this year. Somebody died because dumbass anti-vaxxers like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. after COVID were running around, don't get vaxxed. So now we got these old idiot-ass MAGA people not vaccinating their kids. Now they going to school, catching measles because they refuse to get some vaccines. These people are stupid. They are dumb. They're listening to idiots like Trump and Elon and Clay Travis and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and all these people, and they're causing mayhem. Dr. Peter Hotez joins us right now. I came to the building. I looked up, I saw Doc on CNN. I was like, Carol, hit Doc, because I just got to get expertise. He's co-director of the Center for Vaccine Development at Texas Children's Hospital in my native Houston. So, Doc, since I'm talking to you, let me go ahead and put my hat on, since I'm a Houstonian. Texas Children's Hospital. This has to.
Well, I said today, no more interviews. But then, when a Houstonian like my friend Roland Martin asked, you're someone I can't say no to, my friend. So
I appreciate it, Doc. Doc, this is what you do. This is what you committed your life to do. This has got to drive you crazy.
Oh, Roland, I got my MD and PhD in New York City 100 years ago, 40 years ago, in 1980s at Rockefeller Institute in Cornell in New York, and wanted to devote my life to making vaccines for the world's poorest people. We made a low-cost COVID vaccine for India and Indonesia, reached 100 million people. I wound up making the first halal COVID vaccine, which was kind of interesting because it was a vegan process. We make vaccines for parasitic diseases, and that's what I was going to do. It never occurred to me that somebody would think that making vaccines is a bad thing. What happened was my wife and Ann and I have four adult kids, including Rachel, who has autism and intellectual disabilities. And if you remember, our friend Robert F. Kennedy Jr. came out and said vaccines cause autism. I wound up writing a book called Vaccines Did Not Cause Rachel's Autism to debunk all of the false assertions. And unfortunately, that's maybe public enemy number 1 or 2 ever since. And the anti-vaccine lobby here in Texas is very, very strong. And we've seen this steady rise in the number of parents exempting their kids out of getting vaccines for school. And we knew it would have consequences. 10 years ago, I wrote an article called Texas and its Measles Epidemics, kind of predicting all this. And unfortunately, it's come to pass, and now a tragic death according to the Texas Health Department, in a school-age child who was unvaccinated. Can you imagine how awful the parents feel? I say it a little differently. I said, the parents themselves are victims of this organized, politically motivated, very predatory anti-vaccine lobby. And they're very aggressive and they're very active down here in Texas, and it didn't have to happen. And now it's really accelerating. We're going to see more kids hospitalized. Pray to God that we don't see any more deaths. But this horrible epidemic, it's huge. and is still in its early stages. So those are my big points.
I mean, this reminded me, there was some dude in Texas who was all against COVID vaccine, ends up getting COVID, dying, got kids, wife is pregnant, and he out there leading protests. Now his ass dead, and he left a wife with 4 or 5 orphans.
Yeah, no, it happened. Roland, in our state of Texas, my estimate, I wrote a book about it in 2023, another book called The Deadly Rise of Anti-Science. My estimate is 40,000 Texans, 40,000, Roland, needlessly died because they refused a COVID vaccine. They, too, were victims of this anti-vaccine lobby. So anti-vaccine activism or anti-science activism has become a lethal force in America, and it's really active down in Texas and other southern states. And I'm trying my best to put a halt to it. And that's why when you asked me to come on just now, I said, hey, I'm not going to miss that opportunity. Anything it takes to reach people, to explain why these diseases are so lethal and why vaccines are so life-saving, I'll take you up on that opportunity.
Doc, I know we got 2 minutes left. I appreciate this. This literally just came across social media. Go to my iPad, Anthony. In a brief interview this evening, Dr. Paul Offit confirms that members of the Food and Drug Administration's Vaccines and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee received an email after 4 p.m. today informing them at the upcoming meeting to decide on how to update next season's influenza vaccines was canceled. You'll recall that the meeting is a key step to allow influenza vaccine manufacturers enough time to prepare updated shots for the next season. So no reason given for the canceled meeting and nothing about it. I mean, these people, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, his co-president, J.D. Vance and MAGA, they literally are going to watch people die, and the pro-lifers are just going along with it.
Yeah, it just makes no sense. The making the influenza vaccine, making available, every September into the fall is a carefully orchestrated dance, because you've got to pick which viruses you're going to target, because influenza virus, unlike a lot of other viruses, undergoes a lot of changes from year to year. So it's carefully orchestrated. You have to make your selection of the viruses you're going to use in the vaccine now in order to plan ahead, to give you the companies the 6 months to make it. And now, so they're meeting tomorrow at the World Health Organization. We've pulled out of the World Health Organization, so we don't get a seat at that table. And now we don't get the chance to inform the manufacturers what we want on the U.S. side. So the companies, which are international companies, will have to go ahead without input from the U.S. It just makes no sense.
Insane. Dr. Peter Hotez, I thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you for keeping informing us. And we absolutely need our doctors and our scientists who are experts at this stuff, and not a bunch of wackadoos with worms in their brain who couldn't study in college, so they chose to go the heroin route, actually speaking for the rest of us.
Well, thank you, my friend. This measles epidemic is not going away anytime soon. It's going to be around, so I'm sure we'll have more opportunities to talk. Unfortunately, as much as I like talking to you, I hate coming on bringing bad news, but there you are.
Well, I appreciate you informing our people. Thank you so very much. Be well, my friend.
God bless. God bless.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. And right now, we're accepting investors in our $17 million round to revolutionize the future of social media. Today, for just $399, you can own 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. While the big platforms have grown too massive and disconnected from their users, Fanbase is building a platform where creators and users truly come first. We've already raised $4.8 million from everyday investors who believe in this vision, and now you can join them. This is your chance to invest in a social media tech company with over 1 million users that is disrupting media by allowing anyone to reach all of their following and monetize their content from day one. The market is changing, big platforms are failing to serve their users, and Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now. Invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the future of social media.